Out there beyond the stars, the cold wind of zero rages without interdiction. Nick Land, The Thirst for Annihilation. At times, more is said by the undercurrents of our psyche than can or should be expressed outside of ourselves. July 5th, 1942, Jünger writes in Paris that, quote, "Certain dreams cannot be recorded. They go back before the Old Covenant and dismantle the primitive, raw materials of humanity. We must suppress what we have seen there." End quote. There are things that can be whispered to us in the pitiless black of the night that we must know, will, and dare to keep silence of, in the Hermetic sense. Jünger states that we must suppress these dreams, though I say we need not also repress them. We must simply allow their hooks to pass through us without offering any of our insides for them to catch on to. There are things that we will all take to the grave, things we understand to be far too poisonous to utter to another soul. There is so much disease that resides in each of us. Further out, there can be images and places so alien and previous to our nervous system that there is no medium for them to return, for they were never truly repressed. The furthest gesture I'll hazard towards these dreams is this. The anecdote goes that Crowley's study had been so darkened from meddling with the Goetia that in the room, even at the zenith of the day, one had to work by candlelight. Judge Holden, too, is merely another gesture towards the antediluvian priors that still reside in our reptilian wiring, though in the judge's case it may be the purest gesture we have. The perennial captivation of Blood Meridian is one that the judge is not known but is felt to be an entity much older than anything we call morals or civilization. Though invaluable, he remains a gesture in the way that the judge himself is still able to be written as a character in a story published in a book. Burroughs writes in The Soft Machine that, "When we came out of the mud, we had names." There is a patently unfathomable gap between multicellularity and when we came down with our incurable case of Burroughs's talk sickness. And from the advent of talk to civilization as we know it, there is another absurd distance. These dream revelations that go far beyond the black are extant from times prior to Yod-He, Vav-He, and Noah, and extend all the way back to the fucked morass that we are encouraged to believe that order sprang from by itself. Reading Jünger's entry in a dim Victoria bar last summer, I became disturbed by the articulation itself, a seeming non sequitur in the man's diary, that these dreams were not unique. I've since wondered if we are all complicit in a mass conspiracy of silence. When I've had these dreams, it's never occurred to me to speak or even point towards them, or even if I could, should the need arise. Hence, we cannot know. There is neither a time nor place for the hushed tones of the pre-ancients to be uttered. Time is a comparatively recent invention, and perhaps the spatial understanding of the universe too. Does the spirit of the depths in Jung's apocalypse heed the call of its own spirit of the depths? Does the tetragrammaton know what speaks to him in the witching hour?